I want to talk to you in this video about asking for help. You know, a lot of us are so used to doing things on our own or not having our needs be met and just sacrificing our needs to where we just take care of everyone else that we don't know how to ask for help. We don't think we should ask for help. We don't even know what kind of help we need if we did ask for help. I know for me, I grew up as the oldest child in an alcoholic family where I learned from 2 years of age to be my mom's caregiver and later helping take care of my siblings, that I was the little adult. I was called the little adult. I was treated like the little adult. I was expected to be the little adult. And I was throughout all my childhood. Nobody looked at me and said, "Hey, what do you need?" You know, my mom was busy. She was teaching full time. She was giving in and accommodating my dad when, with his alcoholism and his anger and his demands and taking care of three of my younger siblings. And I was helping her and felt like I was okay. So she didn't stop to say, like, what do you need? Even as an adult, she would say to me, "Oh, I'm glad I don't need to worry about you," even though I had a really difficult marriage and she knew what the problems were. And she knew that I had two children that were chronically ill. She would just say, "I'm glad I don't have to worry about you because I know you're okay." And it took me a long time, decades, for me to finally say to her, "No, I'm not. I'm not okay. You can worry about me. I could use some of that." It's not that she didn't love me. She did. Not that she didn't care. She did. And she would let me talk and she would listen. But it's that perception of you're always okay. I had to break that. And I had to say, no, I'm not. And I had to learn how to be vulnerable and ask for my needs to be met with friends and with safe people like mentors and sponsors and support groups and counselors. And to be able to say at times, no, I'm not okay. And to be able to stand up in my marriage and say, I'm not okay. And to stand up for my needs and to make a strong stand and to not back down and to not give in, even though there was a lot of resistance and a lot of pressure for me to back down and to not be true to my own needs and the things that I absolutely needed to have to be okay in the marriage. And so I had to let go of my self-sufficiency, and I had to learn that I had to ask for what I need. And the other thing I had to learn is I had to be very specific about what I needed. A lot of times in our relationships, we'll think, oh, people should know. They should know what I need automatically. No, they don't. They won't. You have to be specific. You have to own it. First, you got to know it. What do you need? Secondly, you've got to own it. I know I need this. I want this. I need this. I'm going to take a stand for this. This is my need. Please, will you meet my need? You can ask for it. You can't demand. You can never demand that somebody meets your need. You can't make them. And they can other person can always choose to say, no, I can't do that, or I won't do that. And then you have to say, okay, this is my need. Can I do without this? If I can't, I got to figure out how I can get my own need met in a healthy way. And if not, what I need to do about that, given the circumstance. Okay, so that is how you get your needs met. So getting your needs met, super important. Don't minimize that. If you haven't had your needs met for a long time, if you haven't owned your needs, if you haven't recognized them, it's time to start. Ask for what you need. Admit what you need. Okay, because this is an important part of being a healthy person participating in a relationship. You get your needs met, the other person gets their needs met. We work together to meet our needs. That's a healthy relationship. So Philippians 4:10-16, Paul talks about this. And you're probably going to look at this in a little bit different way when I read this and explain it. Paul, the apostle, says, I rejoiced greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I'm not saying this because I am in need, for I am learned to be content, whatever the circumstances, because I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry. That's the part that you're used to. Paul's saying, oh, I don't, people take this wrong. They say, well, that's because Paul didn't have his needs met. Okay, I don't need my needs met because Paul learned to be content in either way. No, Paul asked for what he needed from the churches. He was in prison during this, okay? He was in prison, and he was saying, hey, you guys, these are my needs. I'm going to give you an opportunity to meet my needs. This is what I need. Can you bring it to me? Now, he said, okay, I get it. I can be okay without it. I can learn how to adapt to having my needs not met. All of us can. And I can rejoice in the Lord with it or without it. But I'm going to give you an opportunity. Okay? He says, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want, right? I can be content. I can do all this through him who gives me strength, right? We know that part very well. And then Paul says, yet it was good of you to share in my troubles. It was good for them. Moreover, as you Philippians know, in the early days of your acquaintance with the gospel, when I set out from Macedonia, not one church shared with me in the matter of giving and receiving, except you only. So Paul said, you guys are the only ones who gave to me what I needed and participated in my ministry in that way. So he's telling them, good job. So again, he let people know some didn't meet his need, some did. It says, for even when I was in Thessalonica, you sent me aid more than once when I was in need. So Paul let them know what he needed. So that's a new way to look at that section of scripture that I bet you have never looked at before. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship, and I hope that you will watch more and check out my website for my resources, my studies, my books, my classes, and I hope to see you back.